Hello. All right, so I'm starting a stream here. Obviously, it will be some time before anybody could possibly hope to get here. And I'm going to spend this time trying to figure out how to get the chat to show up, because I've had problems with that in the past. And indeed, once again, it's unclear to me how I should go about doing that. Show me... Oh, not that. Let's see. Well, what we're going to be doing here, once I get this figured out, and we'll give it a minute, is I'm just going to be testing a bunch of builds and looking for some feedback. I have not... I've done some testing on this already. All right, come on, chat. How does the chat work? I made the chat work last time. But it's eluding me. Program. All right. Stream. Show me the chat. It's outrageous. Is there any way for me to see my own stream in the studio? So click on it and watch chat at least that way. Show me the chat. Okay. All right, well, I can see the chat at least through YouTube, so that's something. Hopefully there's no delay there or anything. Okay. All right. Anyways, sorry about that. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna be trying some Hellenika Hinnom builds. I'm not actually playing Hinnom in Hellenika anytime real soon, though I'd like to in the future. I have a different game of Hellenika that I'm playing in, but I'm not gonna show the build for that one yet, as that'll come out as sort of a regular series, and we're still early and have to maintain some secrets. Oh, audio's low. Okay. Let's try. How about now? Is the audio better? Let's see. I guess I could also raise it over here. It's probably the normal way for people to fix the audio instead of fiddling with where the microphone is located. All right. Well, let me know if the audio is fixed. I suppose I can also just talk. Yes. Okay. Excellent. All right. So luckily, hi Zan. Thank you for joining. Obviously, this comes right after you've already started as Hinnom, so I don't have to. You know, we'll see if we can come up with something that's as good as what you've already got going. So the first sort of god that I wanted to try out for this, just as a bit of a concept, is just let's look at what scales can do as Hinnom and see how quickly we can expand. And so this is not going to be by any means perfect, but this is just sort of like a basic. This is very similar to the Hinnom build that I took in my regular game, and so it doesn't matter too much. We're not going to be expanding with the sacreds right away, and we're just going to go imprisoned with pretty good scales. Need more production than that. I think I took luck 3 before, but it doesn't really matter. Something like this is, it's obviously it's not going to be perfect, but I just want to sort of test out some basic scales expansion, and we're going to name this guy Scales and just do some practice here. I've got a generic planes map that we're going to go ahead and load up. So we are Hinnom. Everybody else is random. And we'll go ahead and load in our scales guide here. Story events need to be on for Hellenika. Technically, I think that the preferred start option is supposed to not be random per his Word document, but most people, I think, start random, so I think we're going to start random. And it is going to matter for us. I guess we can fiddle with the thrones, too, just because. We have... So, like I said, I've played this a little bit already. And so there's some neat expansion you can do with Kohen, assuming you start with blood, which we didn't. So that's going to slow us down quite a bit versus where we would sort of like to be. On a map like this, I would be looking at trying to secure as many of these high-value provinces. Because we have a waste right next to us, this waste is not as valuable. We only need the one. For recruitment for the first turn. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Hellenika adds and makes a bunch of changes. One of the big ones, all of these dudes. I'm testing this for multiplayer eventually. At present, we're just sort of testing it for funsies. I'm in a Hellenika game as a different nation for now. We're gonna start by doing this guy, as he is our best researcher that doesn't start by eating our population, and we're gonna need to get some research going early. And we're gonna recruit a bunch of these dudes for to supplement our initial party. And we're going to see how quickly we can expand. And this is the unlucky version. We did not start with research level in blood. So that's what we're headed for as quickly as we can get it. So let's see. Now we've got plenty of dudes. I think we can set them up such that we can manage to get a line of javelin tosses in. And still have everybody hopefully connect at about the same time. I like double sermon, not stay behind troops. Double sermon of courage, and then just word of stone. So that's our best. And let's get some early resources instead of going for ghouls. Gonna make another one of these, and then from here we're gonna make these charioteers. Because I think that they expand really well in the base game, and we'll see how they do here in this one. They are not buffed to my knowledge by Hellenika, but I'm not going to go pull up the whole chart. Easy win here over some small dudes. And then here I'd be looking to take this province because it's probably the most valuable that we can see on this map. So let's do something like this. Get an extra Avite, so we can get an extra Avite commander, but we actually don't need to do that. Instead, we'll recruit a regular commander here and send him to pick up the next wave when it comes through. You can see we're on scales. We're using all of our gold here. Hinnom is an expensive nation. It is gold. It is a gold-hungry thing. Okay. So let's keep that. The scout doesn't really matter. He's actually pretty relevant on starts where you do get the blood. But for the current start, he's not as important. You can use him to ferry blood slaves out to keep your expansion going faster. All right, we lost 2 swordsmen against 50 guys. Okay, conjurations, awesome. This is it's heavy cap. Okay, we're gonna go try and get another farm here. This dude is gonna stand in the back. He's gonna stay behind troops. I guess, actually, we can just put him in the front. It's still fine. And these guys are just going to attack closest. From what I remember in the past, these chariots are pretty darn good at running over everybody. However, war elephants, they are not good at running over. We'll need to send something else to deal with them. And we're going to start getting some Kohen. Now, the question really here is, so you get the Kohen, how many other dudes can you recruit? So that you're not just putting out one party, you're putting out more than one party with the help of the Kohen. So we'll put this guy here so we can pick up some chariots. Not next turn, but the turn after, because he'll only have 3, which won't be enough. A lot of random events, I guess. So the chariots ran over Horse Tribe, no problem. We killed some some cataphracts, and we killed Porphyrians mercs, it looks like. Unfortunately, we don't move that fast, even though we are somewhat larger than normal. We are just giants, or these giants are only size 3, so they don't have a huge buff to their movement speed. Unfortunately, we have not yet gotten. We're gonna make mostly Cohen from here. We did not get a fire one, so we're not going to be able to get. There's a new unique item for Hellenika for Hinnom, which I'll go ahead and show at Construction 0 once we get. It's a fire blood. But so for anyone who hasn't seen it before, we now have the opportunity to do this. And this is Hellenika Hinnom has new blood spells, including a bunch that do not cost slaves. You can see 7th Master, 7th Slave are all free, so is Reinvigoration. And then they have Summon Imp Horde, which is like Summon Imps, but instead of getting 5, you get 15. And we can actually do this in such a way that we... Actually, let's give this guy some extras. Can take whole provinces with just this guy. The tricky part... Yeah, and this guy moves faster. Let's see which of these looks easier. They're close. Oh, this guy can't move. So we'd actually do this. Oh, he probably can't move then either. Yeah. Maybe here. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. They've got nice, heavy movement. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get the start where you get them all right off the first gate. But, scout, just keep moving. Yeah. So we'll go ahead. That one we'll actually watch. I know I've been sort of skipping past the rest of these because they're mostly just our infantry being better than generic infantry. But when this rolls, we'll take a look. It does not work every single time. It sometimes fails, but it usually works. And so this is just our blood one. Like, these heavy infantry can be a little tough. It's best against others, although it looks like we're going to potentially get away with it here. They usually rout. Our problem is that our guy here, right, he's very asleep. Yes, okay, they routed. They would have won if they kept fighting, but they went ahead and routed. So that's an extra free expansion that we got access to. Let's just go here. This group. Unfortunately, there are elephants here, and the elephants are pretty good at trampling our guys. Picked up an extra, right, again, so now we've got this whole extra expansion guy. There are how many here? 50 with heavy cap. Like, this is a province where there's too much for the Kohen. This is also a terrible starting location, by the way. 2 water provinces is certainly not something that Hinnom has any interest in. We'll see how they do. Obviously, this is just testing. We'll see how this guy does against the elephants. I don't think that it works, but that's why you test. It's very important to put him in the back corner. You can also, if you're not trying to put out extra parties, you can add in other troops to, like, be bodyguards. I think we've got enough of these already. Let's move into some other units. Make another one of these, too. Turn 6, we need to start thinking about theoretically getting our first fort up. I think in a real game, what I would actually do is probably look to combine these forces to take out these elephants. This guy can go here. Well, he would have this nice and surrounded. And yeah, so again, this is just like a scales, right? We're not doing anything with sacreds. Technically, the Kohen are sacred, but they're not blessing or anything. It looks like we've run into Porphyrian again. I'm sure we win this one. We lost 1 Avite, and we killed some Marrow. Thanks, Porphyrian. This is just these guys are hilarious to watch. They just run over everybody. But this should be some of our other. So here, what we're gonna hope to do, right, is have the imps take some of the edge off of this elephant horde. And we'll try and get those elephants to rout. And we do. So this is a province that we probably could have taken without the imps, but this made it a lot safer, and we lost nobody to take out an elephant province. Here is, again, this is like the perfect size, right? There just aren't enough troops here. You're going to imp them out really easily and just pick up an extra province that way. Lost some taxes. And so, yeah, you can pretty much... Heavy cav can be tricky. Well, let's try it. You can take a huge amount of territory with these troops. 70 is a lot, but... Can you just make it? No. Yeah, he can go this way. That's fine. Go and deal with that. 40 guys. Yeah, and this is another example where the increased movement speed on this guy lets you get around this corner to take an extra territory. We still haven't gotten any fire guys, which is pretty unfortunate. Put you back over here. This time it says there's... This is oscillated between 50 and 20. This guy... You can also... These guys can lead armies, too. So we can do something similar. These guys on hold and fire. Their job is to keep the Cohens safe. So other alternatives, instead of doing double import, if you're going to send troops, I think you can get away with doing an import. Well, it's tricky. You really want the item, which we haven't gotten a chance. The item, by the way, gives +1 blood and +1 blood searching, and it costs only a single fire gem. That lets you do some really cool stuff. Without it, I think you're sort of just on summon imps. You don't get to do... You can basically turn your guy into a lifeline protection with summon imp. It costs 10 fatigue, and he'll just make an imp every turn. And that can help you overwhelm stuff. But conservative magic. It's tricky. You ideally, right, you should be able to throw blood slaves on, use the free invigoration that Hellenika Hinnom gives you. But you can't because your guy's too much fatigue, so he eats the dude, even though he doesn't need to. Attack here. But that's just sort of the way it goes. You gotta design around it. All right. Let's see if we have any more good ones. So this is something where I do have my guy standing in front, which we're gonna hope isn't a problem. He ideally, right, if he gets whacked, that would be pretty bad. So we're against, a small number of heavy cav, some archers. The archers can be problematic, right? Like, he just got shot. He does have a ton of hit points, and his morale is pretty good. But your blood slaves can get shot too, so archers aren't ideal. He will cast free blood heal on himself, as well, if it comes to that sometimes. So you can see right here, the imps have picked off, or intercepted, not picked off, some of the heavy calves, so we're able to hit the rest of our troops into the heavy cav, although some of them have found better things to do. But let's see. Looks like we should hopefully be okay. The heavy cav, no, I've not routed. These AI are really helping us out here. But ultimately, we're going to chop through here. Small number, our troops will run through it, no problem. This is the one we just saw. Yeah, the Avite light infantry are very good at expanding as well. Honestly, there's a huge... It's sort of a no wrong way to eat the Reese's expansion on Hellenika Hinnom. Although the next build we're gonna do is gonna try and find the wrong way. So like this is where you just don't... We just didn't quite get enough. These heavy cav are a little too strong, and it ends up not working. So it is not foolproof. And if you get the... So we lost our Cohen. If you get the item, which we still haven't gotten, the 1 out of 4 random? 1 out of 3 random to get a fire guy. Touch unfortunate. But so in any event, right, it's turn 8, where we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 provinces. Yeah, I haven't really done much with the cavemen yet. I know that they have... I like them when you need the resistances, but I haven't really tried throwing them into the expansion too much. They do cost no resources, so you can definitely get a lot of them. Have to try that one in the next bit too. So this is pretty effective expansion. However, this is scale, so it's one of the easier ways to do it. And again, we're sort of constrained here. This double water province is not what you'd usually hope to see or expect on Hinnom. I think if you got 2 water in your cap sort of square on a nuke map, you'd complain. But that's sort of with scales. The next one that I wanted to show is not scales. It's sort of the opposite. It is, well, it's almost extremely the opposite. It is this ridiculous build where we're gonna try and play almost like a Nazca and try and see how many of the Seir we can get early with a huge bless. So this guy, let's do it this way. I'll go ahead and he's an awake researcher, so we'll be able to see him once we start the game here. Huge bless. He's got 80 research. Our scales, as you can see, are terribly bad. They could be worse, I guess, but they're pretty darn bad. And we've got attack, magic weapons, poison resistance, defense, HP strength, blood surge, and combat speed. This is very similar but stronger to an imprisoned build I took as Baratos to try and make it as much use of the Seir as possible. But we're going to take it awake to try and fiddle with this expansion. So we're going to go Prophet. The Scout, this time our Scout has uses, so we're actually not going to send him out. And we're going to go right into the Kohen. And I was making before some of these Avite light infantry to help my party. Although I know, let's see, we just got Xandus threw out a shout out to these cavemen. So maybe they do cost a lot fewer resources. We could have either 6 of these guys with the net or 3 of the light infantry. Do they have the same combat speed? 13. They do. All right, well, let's just try out. Yeah, we'll try them out this time. Try out these guys with the net to help out our first expansion party. They also get buffed in Hellenika in comparison to the base game. The random events in Hellenika tend to take longer. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Ooh, yikes. This is why we don't take misfortune, I guess. There goes 3,000 people off of our capital on turn 1. Okay, so let's do this time. I think we're just gonna ball all these guys up. Put them in a line. Actually, I think we should put them back here because we're gonna have them hold an attack. Double Sermon and Heavenly Fire. This dude goes in the back corner, and he's going to pick up Blood Slaves and do double import cast spells. So we're going to send him. So like this is a perfect one for him to take. There's 10 guys. I think in a real game, we're probably looking to take out this pack so that we can have one of these take out this one next. Again, we're going to have our scouts stay home for now. And what we're going to research is we're just going right to blood for this test. This is our most important province to get to. And we're going to try and make use of is new in Hellenika. So even if you played before, if you hadn't played in the last, I think it's like month or something, Melkart can now do a pillage that gets you gold and blood slaves, like sizable quantities. So we're going to try and make use of that. So some heavy cav here and some heavy infantry, but imps make short work of them. So yeah, we'll have to see how these cavemen do here. They look like they should be good against these dudes. Yeah, get them in nets. Probably gonna have higher attrition though than our regular troops. Although definitely some attrition among the regular troops as well. We lost 4 guys. Okay. That's a lot of Jade Amazons, though. So again, the most important thing for this build is securing one of these wastelands, and this is the only one that's on the map, so we have to go for it with all haste. This is a wizard. Wow, this is a tough one for this expansion. There's war elephants, 100 barbs, militia, like 60 plus militia. Oh, I forgot to recruit. Whoops. I thought I said repeat. That'll slow us down a turn. Give us some extra gold though. And then here we would recruit. Okay, I can't recruit an extra commander just yet. And we'll keep holding on to this guy. Something went to round 18. So took those out just fine. Let's see how we did here against the wizard. So I don't know if this actually beats the wizard, right? I certainly don't have a lot of experience. You don't see that one too often. Let's see if we can chop through his minions. It doesn't appear so. Looks like we are going to lose this one. Our only hope is that we wake up in time, but I don't think that's going to happen. Especially with these guys having broken free. Yeah. Okay, that did not work. To be fair, I don't know that you should actually attempt to kill the wizards this way. Wow, no fire. We are extremely unlucky. Let's do that. Imports, cast spells, conservative gem usage. And I think they should be able to beat the monkeys. Or even that. Let's try to do the horse tribe first. We need to, yeah, I think we need to get like one more party going, and then we need to try and see if we can't get to a milk cart. To start the blood hunting process. It's going to be extremely destructive to our lands. In a huge, huge way. I don't know why I clicked on this one. I'm quite confident in our ability to win. There's a decent number of horse cab here. The arrows can be problematic, but they mostly, right, they get sort of tied up with the imps pretty quickly. And you just got to hope that the imps chop their way through. It looks like the imps on this flank have failed, but there's a route. You can see we've lost all of our blood slaves. I think if you're playing this, you know, sort of slowly, you probably don't send extra blood slaves, or you send them with like the scout or something when you're going into heavy archer fire. One thing you can do now, though, is we can still move this guy, and we can give some blood slaves to our scout, which is why he's been sitting at home and not doing anything. And he's just going to fire, make sure he's in the back corner, and he's going to attack as well, so we get that extra movement there. Okay, from here, let's do a milk cart. Get that kicked off. We're going to try and save some of our gold. Again, I haven't done this too many times. I think there's a lot of room within the idea here to make more changes, like efficiencies. Like, I don't know if this is the right turn to get the milk cart, or if it's, you know, earlier or later or whatever. Because we're going to need 500 gold to go get a lab on our thing. Lab on our wasteland. So here we got a lot of monkeys. I don't think the monkeys are going to hold up against the imps, but there are a lot of them. They're routed because they are monkeys. So now we're out of blood slaves. We've also, again, we didn't manage to get, we have not gotten a fire random Kohen yet between either game, and I think we've made like 8 or 9. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna blood hunt here, so that he gets the ability to keep going forwards. This guy needs to move up to start getting our lab built, and we're gonna get our milk cart next turn. Research wise, we're on blood 3, so we can start to summon our troops once we get the war elephants. Are bad news, but we'll try it anyway. Here we should have been probably making more units. I don't think that 7 is going to win this fight, but you never know. They may yet. They are not our primary concern. So we captured 8 blood slaves there, so that group now can keep going. Here, we'll see how quickly we can route. I assume we're going to get overwhelmed here. Yeah. Oh, we routed pretty fast. We routed some of them, but unfortunately they didn't leave, so they'll still be here. We did win against the war elephants. And Hinnom lost 100% of its tax. Woof. That's tough. So, this guy is going to kill 1,000 population to generate a bunch of blood slaves. If there is no population left, you won't get the blood slaves or the gold. So you need to go somewhere that has actual population. Otherwise, you will be sad. But obviously, you don't want to deal too much damage to your overall economy, so we're going to pick this nice 5,000 one. Additionally, yeah, we're going to go for one more. We're going to go for one more Kohen and then more milk carts. One milk cart can more or less sustain a Kohen summoning Seir. Give or take. Sure, Lavaborn. Oh, whoops, I forgot. I did not need to have him search again. That was silly. He could have been expanding. Onto the fish, probably. Yeah. Is he injured? What's the... I guess he can't get across this river. Here, we'll go ahead and construct our lab. We're going to make another milk cart. So this milk cart is going to pillage. Which is not an action that gets taken, I think, in regular... I don't really want to fight these barbarians. I think that we will just die. So let's not fight the barbarians. How were you using the caveman Zen? Just like, what was the size of the party? So, this is the milk cart slaughtering population. He killed 870. That's actually on the low end. But we got 216 gold and 31 blood slaves. So that, and we also kill another 60 people and 6 gold. Because you have the special event pillage and you have the regular pillage. You do both. And he's just going to pillage again. And here we're going to go ahead and just say monthly ritual. Oh, we can't do the serum yet because we have that finally. All right, this is the special item for Hinnom, or a special item for Hinnom in Hellenika. Blood magic +1, blood searcher +1, size 4, and it requires you to be fire holy and just a single gem. Now that we have that, we can start to something like this. Once we have that forge next turn, we can give it to this guy and start summoning the Seir. For now, though, I guess search. I don't know. South. This guy can fight the fish. So again, this is a pretty sloppy version of this, right? We're just sort of looking at how many, how quickly we can sort of get these Seir online. So again, 220 gold, and there's even more, 36 blood slaves. So we're definitely keeping our treasury up a little bit in the short term. Obviously, if you're going to do something like this, you need to go and start killing people extremely quickly, or you will not have a treasury for very long. But now we can do this, and now we can start to summon our Serim. We need another Kohen. And I'm trying to fit these ref fights in where we have the opportunity. I think that in a real game I might do that. I think it's also very possible that rather than go for too many of these rough fights, you might just need more numbers, and you would just go for your Avite infantry or maybe the cavemen. But this Melkart is now going to go and join in the raiding wars. Or not raiding, but... Oh no, this guy needs to keep making lights. Put this here. Yes, Hinnom. That's what we're here for. If we're not here to let our enemies kill us, we're here to eat our own population, right? Before anybody else gets the opportunity to. So again, we picked up 34 blood slaves plus gold. But this was a 5,000 population province. It's down to 2,000. Let's pillage, not patrol. Let's pillage this. Let's get this guy up here. We're gonna keep summoning these serum. This guy forges these just about every turn. I think we can afford one more Kohen before we go back to Melkarts. Again, in a real game, you should definitely be trying to patrol in the capital or move these giants out of your capital if that is where you are putting them. Let's do it like this. Exactly. We're taking advantage of the options we have. So with Blood 4, we are now totally ready for our first war. We're gonna hopefully have a bunch of serum. They're gonna be bloodlusted up. They're super blessed, and we have Hellfire with no slave cost. And Bloodlust again with no cost, no blood slave cost. Agony to back it up. All of your guys in combat will do reinvigoration, unscripted, which is awesome. And you can also start the combat right, summoning a bunch of imports, and then throw out the bloodlust. You can put out some pretty sick armies. It's turn 11 here. I think that's everybody. So I think, let's see. It's turn 11. We're currently now making 10 Sayir a turn. We got Kohen 1. We beat some barbarians. We are raiding now in multiple provinces. You can see we can definitely afford more Kohen. I unfroze. Our river unfroze. So this guy's also going to be doing monthly serum. So for the immediate future, right, we're going to be upping our monthly serum production every turn. This has got 1 left in it we can pillage. Hellenika, I believe, has the rebirth mod attached to it. So you can leave it alone, and eventually you will get some of your population back. Let's just make this monthly. It's gonna take a long time, right? I think it comes usually right like 250 or 300 something a pop, and so at that speed, it's gonna take you 4 turns of it working out to get 1 more snack. But you can see I'm playing super lazy. We're very rich. Do send this guy up. This needs to move now. Yeah, let's move him down here. These guys can go somewhere over here. We're out of blood slaves, actually. Let's say you would keep moving. This guy can move over to go and support the summoning effort. So I don't know that this works against a super early rush. Right? Like, I think if somebody's going to rush you on turn 8 or turn 9, you're going to have to hope that mass imps kill them. And mass imps can kill people, but you're going to have a little bit of trouble until you get your serum production going. Cast, monthly, serum. Now we're up to 15 serum a turn. We're still have plenty of blood slaves in the bank. We've got 30 on turn 14. We're going to be up to 45 on turn 15. And again, right, with this build, our bless is pretty huge. And we've got a lot of high-level blood to back it up. I haven't thought about what the next best thing after you get the blood is, right? I hit conjuration here just to sort of click. But you could be looking to back up your serum with what? You don't need Strength of Giants because I think it doesn't stack with your other spells. Anti-magic, if you're up against something that's relevant there. It's not really helping them be very killy, though, obviously. You could throw, like, luck on them. You have access to plenty of astral mages. They really want protection, but you don't have any way of really helping them with it. You could go and get wooden warriors, but you'd have to spend a gem every time you want to do that. Although they would certainly appreciate it. I think is luck your bet. Luck might just be the best bet, and I think you're mostly though just going to be having all your guys doing blood stuff, and you eventually look to buff up when you get access to higher level stuff like Iron Warriors, etc., etc. But that's obviously like way later. But so yeah, we're up to 30 here, and we'll be at 45. So, you know, I don't know. This is obviously sort of very theoretical here. Is he getting more? You can raid in farther afield territories as well, or pillage. It is doubly effective within your own dominion, though. So that's why we're in our own dominion for now. This is probably about how many we can sustain without getting additional milk carts to keep going. Again, we're pushing our income absolutely into the ground. You know, we're gonna need to take this kind of force. An old school. What? Oops. That's unfortunate. I don't know how to fix that. Old school RuneScape. Why do we think that's what we're playing? I don't know. Well, I guess that's something we'd have to figure out later. I'm not sure how to fix it. If people got the notification that we went live here, they probably have a good idea we're not playing old school RuneScape. I've never actually really played much in the way of RuneScape. Yeah, we got 45 units. So I'd love to hear from people. What are some thoughts on this? It's very all in, which makes me really hesitant to like try it in a game, right? You spend 2 weeks getting into a game, getting a game started, and then you're like, oh, it doesn't work. Or I think if you were doing this build, you 100% need to see the map first before you commit, because if you do not have the ability to get a wasteland, it obviously is completely non-functional. Oh, we bounced off the lizards, it looks like. That's okay. But there's some question of, can these guys defend you if you're being attacked? Those are just regular old. What are we at here? 2,000, 4,000. This is going to be his last pillage turn. We're up to 70. I don't know how many people can fight. Let's just, just for, giggles here. I don't even think, we just barely have enough that we can even equip everybody here. Let's say that everybody should do a summon import and then do a reinvigoration. And then we're just going to do like Hellfire, conservative usage. Let's put this on everybody. We'll have one guy just do like imps or something. Give everybody a couple blood slaves. We're just gonna go run. Oh, so we gotta bless first, actually. We need a couple dudes doing blessings. Yes. Well, I'm gonna go run them into somebody so we can see their stat line. With the buffs and stuff on. Right, there's a faster way to do this. And we need, let's see, we need a bunch of, we need everybody on hold. Again, this obviously is not the right way you should, do this. You should go get a milk cart to lead them so you can put them into lines, etc., etc. But for now, they can just stand here and that's okay. And then put these dudes behind them. And we need to start not with a summon imp. Everybody needs to start with a blessing. And then do a summon imp horde reinvigoration. Hellfire. Let's just go run at somebody's capital. Okay. So let's wait for them to get blessed for a sec. Oh, I forgot to do bloodlust. Okay, we'll have to do that. I have to script that for the next one. Okay. So they're currently... That guy did not get blessed. Okay, so the ones that are blessed, 7 protection, which is bad, 30 HP, good morale, fine MR, 18 strength, 17 attack skill, 16 defense skill. And they're Berserker 4. So once they get shot, right, a lot of those stats are going to go up. And they have 3 attacks at 16 and 17 for 18 damage each. And these are indeed magic weapons. They do have the Berserker problem, right, where when you get hit by arrows, you just choose to go in. So we can see now that these guys are berserked. 11 protection, 20 damage, and I did forget to put the extra bit of damage on them. Oh, I think one of them just went ahead and did it anyway. That's funny. So obviously these are, wolf tribe. But the point is, let's do one guy. Okay, they ate blood slaves in a weird way. This guy is going to do the bloodlust. And let's just move on to Asphodel's cap. Yeah, we have a lot of defense in the bless. Yeah, we're on defense +5. So that's a lot of defense. Here's unfortunately, obviously, like attacking the computer doesn't really mean all that much because who knows what they're doing. Oh god, they've got flyers. But so we've managed to, let's see. We'll just put it on regular play here. I don't think we've gotten, yeah, there goes Bloodlust, right? 22 attack. Oh yeah, what did you do with it? This guy is not berserk yet. Let's get a berserk. Yeah, look at this guy. 3 attacks, 24 damage. This guy's not even blessed. Because he got shot early, probably. Kohens with the new item. I think that's the new item. No, it's probably not the new SDR. Oh, in terms of blood slaves for pop cost. Yes. I think, no, definitely. I don't think that the Melkart's pillaging is the most efficient overall, right? But I think it's the fastest. Like, I don't know, because you don't need, yeah, you'll rapidly depopulate. But I don't know if you can get enough like patrol chaff to keep the Kohens going. Oh, Sanguine Dowsing Rod, of course. Yeah, you don't have to just do milk carts, but I think if you're trying to like kickstart this, I don't know that you have time to get enough patrol chaff to make the Kohens there. Yeah, because Kohens with the Sanguine Dowsing Rod and the light, they blood search as 4s, which is pretty insane. Right, because they'll have, 2 and 2 blood searcher. Even our imps here should be, if they get buffed, should be able to do lots of bonus damage. We haven't really seen much in the way of our Hellfires coming out yet. There they are. We do not have any fire resistance to go with our Hellfiring. I think that you could definitely consider lowering some attack to get more fire resistance. 5 to 6k province. Okay. And that's not pillaging, that's hunting. $262. Wow. While killing 2,000. Yeah, okay. I believe it. Let's move some of these to some people that don't have them. And then here we would storm. Yeah, so a milk cart pillaging killing 2,000 pop is only like two tries at it. So you're only going to get like 60 blood slaves or something. And I guess some gold. But it will be fast. Okay, there's not really much here. Yeah, we're just going to torch our own guys here. That's definitely, I hadn't really thought that one all the way through. How easy it is for us to just torch ourselves. Yeah, and then they all pop. I bet that all of our casualties, yeah, they killed 3 and we killed 5. Now the thing, right, is that this is Hellenika, so people have all kinds of crazy shit. But I think that even people with some pretty crazy sacreds are gonna have a hard time. I guess Asphodel gets Morgans. The pillage does work on over 5k. You're just hurting yourself a lot more. Because it does cause a bunch of unrest and stuff too. Maybe this doesn't have I know Rebirth, there's some kind of blood mage check to prevent too many shenanigans, but I don't think we're seeing. Oh, this is okay. This is okay, so there is this like some kind of hidden quest in Hellenika. And I think this is part of it. We won't get into it here. But I don't know too much about it. Obviously, our blood slave production has gone all the way down because we're now pillaging provinces with 0 population, so it doesn't work. But so we started with what, like 70 units, I think. And after running at them, we're at 61, so we lost 14 guys. You can definitely get some attrition on these Seir. They don't have crazy protection or anything at this stage in the game, but anyway, that was this is something I've been sort of playing around with. But yeah, for a longer game, Zan's math is you definitely don't want to be pillaging if you don't have to. I just think you want to do it long enough to get your stuff started. You can get some pretty cheap, obviously I can't recruit anything now because we've sent the unrest to 183, but these Enkidus are not good patrollers, but they're 11 gold and they have the slave tag for one patrol draft strength, which is fine. And again, Zan is right. If you can put Sanguine Dowsing Rods and the whatever the heck is our light called? Quilipothic. I have no idea if that's how you pronounce that. The Quilipothic light, you're turning your guys, each one of these, into a Blood Hunter 4. So you don't need too many. We can try that. Let's see. What is Implementer Axe at? I don't even remember. Here, I think we're good on this test game. I think that we've sort of shown what we were looking to show here. Let's go see about that Implementer Axe and the raid command and see if it does anything. My guess is it won't, but where's my debug mod? We can check that too. I have no. I would assume you can if you can get them underwater. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to, but that's why we tested, I guess. Guess you can do it on anything. Doesn't matter. Okay. So let's start recruiting some milk carts. And let's research construction. I guess actually I need my T and She dudes to go and... Okay, good, you can. I need them to research so that one of them can go and take this from me, for me, so I can see whether or not the raid command works. Back. Okay. So let's forge. I honestly don't even know. Is the implementer... Implementer? What's the axe called? Yeah, implementer axe. Is that one-handed or two-handed? That's a glaive. It's an axe, but it's not the right one. Implementer axe. Okay. Fear and pillage. Ah, pillage. Okay. So let's try. Let's start with the implementer axe and see what that does for us. Get you back out of here. Okay. So let's try, start here. Pillage. This guy, so I don't think I've ever even used the raid. Can he even raid? Is that even a command? I don't even know what the raid command is. I feel like it's some kind of special command. I don't know. Well, we'll have them sit here for now and see if somebody let me know if there's what the raid command is. I can give it to them. Actually, you know, maybe it's in here. Control click. Okay, let's try that. All right. Well, it is red. Control click, add commander to selection. Plus A. Control. Nope. Nope. No. Let's try this again. It's a raid province. Shift click map. It says shift click map, but that's shift plus click map. I feel like we're hitting the shift button And nothing is not working the way I would have expected it to. R. That's okay, let's research. They shouldn't need the axe to raid though. Alright, anyway, hold, let's see if this axe has done anything. I'm itching to hit the next turn button. Okay, so we slaughtered a semi-normal amount of the population. This is 39. That is a bit more than you sometimes see. I don't know. Let's get a ring of water breathing together. When I figure out what that looks like. Pills of water breathing, doesn't matter. Anything will do. How much do we get this time? Slaughtered 1,000. Yeah, 24. I'm not immediately seeing a bump from the axe, and I don't. It's clearly not the pillage. Like, it's a separate event. I don't think he has it coded that way, but I didn't even know that was an item, so it's definitely a good call. This guy got assassinated. That's hilarious. Pills. Okay. So this guy needs to stop pillaging. Let's go to the next turn. All right, we're at 864, and we're going to gain 101 because the, debug mod is on. So we're going to go to 965. So we need to see if we end up at 965 or not here. So it says we got the blood slaves. Yes, okay. Pillaging underwater works. And gets you gold and blood slaves. So that is definitely useful. For salting the earth against those vicious underwater players. Looks like the villains have reclaimed our territory. Still not sure how to raid. It makes no sense. I'm gonna Google it. The raid command. Okay, a commander can only perform it if they have the pillager ability. Okay. All right, that's good to know. So I think the person who said to do it with the axe, I think you were correct, and I apologize for not listening. Axe. Let's move this guy back. Let's go to TNC for a second here. They can go and recapture this. Okay, axe. Ah, look at there. We did it. We're raiding. Let's see if that generates any blood slaves. It doesn't. Yeah, we slaughtered the people underwater. We plundered the lands. Oh, this is another one of those story events, I think. Okay, yeah, there's still some population left. Okay, so pillaging this does not appear to have gotten us any blood slaves. Or not pillaging, but raiding. Enemy force killed people. Okay. Okay. So, raiding does not work. Raiding the command does not work. Pillaging underwater works, and the Imperator Axe doesn't appear to add any extra, gold or whatever, or blood slaves. I think it does actually add a small bit of gold, but no extra blood slaves, which would be sort of what's more relevant. Are there any, I'm trying to think if there's any other any other cheeky things we can do to try and break this. Yeah, agreed. I've never used the raid command. But if you could have Melkarts raid enemy territory and come away with blood slaves, then that would be a good reason to use it. It's playing Hellenika is interesting. One, I mean, I like I like a lot of the pieces of the mod in general, but it is fun when you have all new stuff because you don't know what works anymore. Not that I have like a super great knowledge of the game, but like there's no, there really aren't very many established builds per se. So you get to sort of think, do a little bit more thinking on your own about neat interactions you can do and try to come up with cool stuff. Let's see. But yeah, I don't think there's too much else we can do. We should be pillaging the water arena, but yeah, there's nobody. We killed everybody that's left, but because nobody was left, we didn't get any money or blood slaves. What else? Are there any other items that interact with pillaging? You can get your Melkarts up to insanely high levels of blood searching, or like regular blood hunting if you really wanted to, because they're already they hunt as a 6 out of the box. If you put the Quipothic Light and a Sanguine Dowsing Rod, they're then hunting as 9s. Which is, it's sort of, they would be quite efficient at that, right? Getting a blood 9 going is only 1 blood hunting check. But because they generate, 8 unrest and kill 80 population, they're still not quite so desirable for it. Let's see. Yeah. Anyway, I think probably gonna call it in a minute here. Gonna have only a couple of videos I think going up over the next week. I am going on a vacation, so it's hard to upload Dominion's videos from another country. But hopefully it will. We'll see. I've got a couple that I'm gonna put up. Try and tide people over. But if anybody has any other cool Hinnom things, or Hellenika Hinnom things they think we could do, we could try, I'd definitely love to hear about in the comments. And then Zan is playing Hellenika Hinnom in a game that I am in. So it'll be really cool. Hopefully he'll put that up on YouTube for us at some point in the future. And we'll be able to see his take on it. I actually played Hellenika Hinnom once when I had just started the game. And I got killed on like turn 8 by some kind of horrific dragon thing with fear and awe and 100 health and 30 protection. How could you not do well? You have the best ally. But yeah, so yeah, thanks everybody for joining me. We'll see if we come up with any more cool Hinnom videos. I think, yeah, we sort of did 2 extremes here. I think you could also let's actually just go and look at what Hinnom has available from the Pretender screen, because I think that you have more options available as well. You certainly could try and take a big bless. Thank you. A big bless for your Rephites. They are quite strong. Obviously, it's tough when you have your sacreds cost 130 gold, are cap only, huge resource cost, eat your population, and cause unrest. But you can take a big bless for them. Instead, you could try and go full scales. I think you might run into some problems full scales with some of the really powerful things that enemies can do, but you do get like these Dawn Guard who have 38 HP and a 24 damage magic weapon. So they're pretty great. You could go for some kind of a Titan and use that to protect yourself. Some kind of... I think you have a number of cool options. A lot of these chassis are different. Have variations in Hellenika as well. But I think that it's a very cool nation. So I'm excited to see what Zan does with it, and hope that he doesn't kill me too quickly. Hopefully we'll put up a good fight. I'm playing as Porphyrion, which is LA Falegra. We've got a spicy build for that, which I can't reveal yet. It's a little too soon, but it's amusing. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and everybody have a great day. See you all next time.